All right, we now welcome on another special guest on today. Today when recording, it's National Podcast Day. Happy National Podcast Day.
Let's get it. Woo!
We welcome on Jaylin Lindsey. Welcome on, Jaylin.
Hey, what's up, guys? Thanks for having me.
All right, so first question. We were doing a little research on you before. Saw you've been doing a lot of podcast interviews. In one of the videos, your mic'd up video I saw on YouTube, you said something about starting a podcast with one of your teammates. I think it was Busio.
Yeah.
But are you guys planning on actually starting one?
I mean, we kind of like during that time period, we kind of just like said something about it. I mean, I don't know if you guys seen like All American?
Yeah.
Like the TV show. Yeah.
So I know. So a couple of the people from the cast, they started to do one, like the main guy Spencer. He started to do one. It was more just like face to face, like they just show each other's like reactions. They just pretty much talked. So I was like, that'd be pretty good just to like, get some insight on like, how we live our lives, like, day to day, and let people know like, what we go through on a day to day basis, stuff like that. So, I mean, now that, me and Busio live together now. So like, I mean, it could come up soon. I mean, I don't know yet. We have to get all the equipment and stuff for that. So, I know. Hopefully we can start it soon though. That'd be kind of cool.
That'll be lit. Getting a podcast together it takes a lot, I think.
Yeah.
Personally, yeah, it takes a lot of thinking. Me and Chuck, I had to convince Chuck to do it because he was always like, "Yo, dude, you should do like a podcast." And I was like, "Why don't you do it with me?" And he was like, "I don't know. I don't want to do that." He's like a little baby.
Gotta jump into it.
That's why I don't want to jump into it and then quit so early. I want to just go into it and then like keep going with it. So we'll see.
Yeah.
You can
go. So I guess then you're like, what's moving forward? Like, do you want to kind of become like a internet personality or influencer type of player? Like where it's like you do that on the side as well as like kind of like vlogging, like your trainings and just being the life of a professional athlete?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's always a good thing that, fans want to see. I mean, that's what, everyone sees the media and, they watch, like you look in the media to see influencers, you see stuff to get information. And, if I can do that, for people like fans and stuff like that, then that's even better. So I think at some point, I mean, it takes a little bit of time to get some, obviously like clout, like you said earlier, but just to get more of that and just just get more people to follow you and just influence them along the way with your journey.
Yeah, I think that's what like we're kind of on right now. Some of our like best friends were like, "Yeah, you guys should follow our podcast," and they're like, "Dude, no." I'm like, "Dude, what?" Like, but you would like retweet or like put that stupid ass David Borchak, whatever his name is, like thing on your Instagram story. Like, dude, if we're being realistic, you're never getting that Tesla. I kid you not. You're not getting. No one's getting that Tesla.
Yeah, I've been seeing those so much, bro. Like, it's been terrible.
It's so annoying. Like, you're gonna support that kid you don't even know, but like me, I've been your friends for years. You're not gonna like freaking like shout me out, or, like put my like podcast stuff in your story.
That's funny, bro.
But anyway, I saw like you're like a FIFA player. Well, you think you're a FIFA player and you play pro clubs. What was like your worst rage? Wait, and before you answer that, what console do you play on?
I usually play online on Xbox.
All right, we're tough. All right, Sam.
All right, for sure.
What was your worst rage?
Worst rage. I mean, it'd probably be one of the pro clubs games, for sure. Like trying to get in that Div 1, try to stay in Div 1, and then we got the defense, CPU acting like stupid and stuff, and yeah, there's some hard times, man. Harsh comments to each other, bro.
I know.
It's brutal.
I know, especially when you're playing with like different levels. I would say like different levels of FIFA players like on like your pro club teams. Like I can't play with Chuck because he's trash.
Yeah, wait, hold on. I have a follow-up. So are you kind of a person who takes video games, like, super seriously and intensely? Because I know somebody like that, and he may be, like, in the Zoom call with us right now.
I mean, let's say this. I'll say FIFA and Madden, yeah, I'll get serious about it. But, so I started playing Call of Duty. Like, you just can't get mad. I mean, it's just
Too many
It's
players.
dude, it's too many players, bro. Like, I mean, it's not like you're gonna be like the best or I could be the worst, bro. Like, you're gonna kill somebody, they're gonna kill you back. Like, it's just whatever. So, like FIFA and Madden, like that's just like I don't know. That's just trying to get to the top, So it's just all that's a grind.
Nah, for sure. Like, no, 100%, 100%. Besides
Yeah.
playing FIFA and like video games and stuff like that, what are your other hobbies?
Oh, let's see. I like
Do
to
you play
cook.
basketball?
Uh, here and there.
Ah,
I'm not gonna say I'm the best, but I'll get there. I'll get the boards. Follow me.
Also player.
Yeah.
That's what I am.
I mean, that's all I need to do. If I get the boards, pass my teammates, I'm good, bro. Right?
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, I'll probably say cooking. I like to do a lot of cooking. I like to do a lot of reading as well. See what else I like to do. I like to golf too. I've been golfing lately too. Yeah. Yeah, golfing's fun, bro. Have you tried it?
Yeah, no, I've golfed. I would say like 4 or 5 times. But if
Dude,
I'm
it's
golfing,
fun,
you
bro.
gotta bring beer. Someone has to bring beer. There's no way I'm golfing. There's no way I'm golfing without any bev at all.
Oh my
There's just no way.
gosh, bro.
There's just no way.
Yeah, golfing's fun, bro. It is relaxing, bro. Like you're at a stressed day, you go out to the golf course. It's nice, dude.
It,
So
it
you think
depends
about
on like
life.
your mentality there, though.
Yeah, bro.
You could get really like stressed out when you're playing.
Now you'd be out there, you'd be
Well,
like, damn.
exactly too. That's what I'm saying. Like you got the nice weather out there, you hit a ball, you're like, damn, that's a good ass ball, yo. Like,
Yeah, that makes it all
like,
worth it.
Exactly, bro.
Yeah. So once everything clears up from COVID, what's the first thing you want to do? Like what's something you can't do right now that you're dying to do?
Jeez, man. What can I do? I mean, I think it's just more of the fact going to like anywhere, like restaurant, store without a mask on. Like that's just something that, like, dude, I can't. You know how pissed with this mask, bro. I can't breathe in them things, bro. Like wearing them all day, like it's aggravating, So I think it's just more of like, just like coming back home and just knowing that like you have like the freedom to like go back out, outside and go to a restaurant, go to the mall or whatever without wearing a mask or being worried about anything. So I think that's just what I'm looking forward to, when this whole COVID situation dies down a little bit.
Yeah, I feel that being able to like interact with other people is just like something.
Yeah, bro.
Right now,
Yeah. Actually, I would say one thing I want to do is go to a concert again.
Oh yes.
Bro, concerts are fun, bro.
Yeah.
The last concert I went to was, I think I saw J. Cole.
J. Cole.
You like
nice.
J. Cole, bro?
He's nice. He's nice. And I had some beer before, so man was buzzing. I'll tell you that, he was buzzing.
Yeah.
Who are some of your favorite artists right now?
I'm probably the biggest Post Malone fan you could probably ever meet. Love Post Malone, bro.
Really? Favorite
Yes,
song? What's
bro.
your favorite song by him?
1,000 Bad Times, the new album.
I don't think I've listened to the album yet.
Yeah, it's not the radio song, so that's why. I like the low key. I like low key kind of songs,
Yeah.
But yeah, I like Post Malone, Lil Uzi, Drake, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's one more I like.
Pop Smoke.
Like he makes a bunch of hits. That's why I like him. He makes a bunch of hits, bro. I like that.
Juice WRLD.
Yeah,
Wait,
I'll
let
say
me-
Juice WRLD. I'll say Juice WRLD. Juice WRLD's nice.
Let me ask this: if you could have one rapper kind of shout you out on a song, who would you want to have do that?
Oh, Drake, any day of the week. That shit would be fire. Anything, bro.
It'd definitely
Yeah.
be a banger too. Like
Definitely, bro.
yeah.
That's all he comes out with bangers too. So, yeah, for sure, Drake.
Yeah. All right, so you're a big fan of Ronaldo, right?
Yeah.
Big Ronaldo. So I mean, Weston McKennie plays with him now, and I would assume he probably views him as like somebody he looked up to as well. So when you were in his shoes, how would you have reacted when you kind of first met him and have been playing with him?
You want realistically or like fantasy?
Oh, both, dude. I want to hear both.
Okay. All right. Realistic. Try to act European as much as I can. and as Portuguese as I can. So just so like we get that connection and make him laugh a little bit. Yeah, I'll probably try to be like as calm as I can, but fantasy wise, bro, I might be crying, like that's crazy, bro. Like to see an idol like that, dude, I would be crying, bro. So yeah, both of those are the way I reacted to Ronaldo. So
Yeah.
Nah,
So
Ronaldo's goated.
I'm not sure how
bro.
how well you know Weston, but how do you think he reacted?
I think I saw from a couple of guys that are friends of his that I kind of know a little bit. I heard he was like really like kind of just like laid back a little bit, try to like be normal or whatever, not
Play
be like a
cool.
fanboy. Yeah, like way cool, not like a fanboy or anything. So yeah, my guess is that he was more just like laid back and meeting Ronaldo and stuff like that.
Yeah. He's got some banter with him now. He's like, "Oh, I saw a video of him saying like
Yeah,
you had this body or something like that."
yeah, I saw that too. Yeah, that was pretty cool. So that's dope.
I mean, obviously, right now, like before you were at KC, you were in North Carolina, right?
Yeah, correct.
So, I mean, right now, you guys have like a pretty long break since like your last game. You guys play, I think, Houston next, right?
Yeah, Saturday.
Like,
Yeah.
so, what do you guys have been like? What have you guys been doing like for the week to prepare for like this match?
Well, yeah, this week's been actually pretty good since we actually get like a kind of like a full week to prepare like with all these games like going on. You have like 2 or 3 days in between. You're like quick training sessions, like regen, and then like trying to get back out there again. So like this week's just more like a full week of just trying to, figure out our tactics and stuff like that, and trying to, set up game plans for what we have against Houston, and gives us obviously a little bit more time to evaluate those situations and work on them. So it's just been more of like I mean, it's a long week, but it's just more just trying to get all the right details right, and looking forward to Saturday.
Like for pros, like do you guys do a lot of like film sessions or like watch other like the teams that you're gonna play next? Like you guys watch like their like films and stuff like that?
Yeah. So we do that more towards I should say more towards the game. Just so you get like that refresher. When we get out to training, that you kind of see the situation that as we did in the film. So yeah, we don't necessarily do a lot. It's just more working towards the game, and maybe sometimes after, just depending on how the game before went, maybe. But yeah, we do film here and there.
Generally speaking, how much of your day is taken up of soccer? Like whether it be trainings, film, like recovery. Like what percentage of your day would you say is taken up by that?
I would probably say half the day, pretty much. I mean, so we had to go to the facility probably around 8:30ish. I mean, just depending on if you have treatment or recovery or stuff like that before. But like breakfast starts at like 8:30, and then I usually don't get home and probably until, because usually we'll have breakfast and then we'll have training, and then sometimes we'll probably have weights after. So yeah, I probably don't get home until maybe 1:32. So it's pretty much just like half the day, pretty much. So yeah.
What would you say the toughest part of being like a professional athlete is?
I think the toughest part of being an athlete is, I think it's just keeping the right mentality to like want to get better every day. I mean, there's a lot of pros, and even that I know of and people I've seen. Yeah, like you get the contract, you become pro, but a lot of guys start to lose their heads a little bit, and start to think like they're big time, or they have all this money now, so they go and spend it, like on Gucci or Louis Vuitton, whatever you call it, like spending big time money, and it's just really smart to try to invest in your money and just try to stay humble, and just trying to if you just try to stay humble, then farther down your career when you're making more money, you're still humble at that stage. So I think it's just more just trying to keep that mentality of just trying to get better on and off the field.
So what would you say then? Like that's definitely like good advice. Was there anybody like who kind of taught you that, or is that just kind of how you were brought up, just to be humble?
I mean, growing up, it's just how I've been taught. It's been to be humble. I would just say, it's like saying like on the field, yeah, that's just how I've been. I've been humble. Like I've even though I got a contract, I'm a professional athlete. I'm still trying to work hard, to get, a starting spot, to try to be, one of the best in the team, or, maybe at, some point, maybe, work as hard as I can and, get looks to go over to Europe at some point, so I think just that's like on the field stuff, and, off the field, it's just more just trying to keep that mentality of, like I said, being humble, staying true to yourself and, not losing yourself with the money and on all the fame and stuff like that. So that's what I would say.
Moving from you being part of like the KC Academy and into the first team, what would you say like the biggest adjustment was for you?
I think the professionalism was the biggest one for me. Obviously, when you're in the academy, not saying everyone's, immature or whatever, but I would say, obviously, I was more of a kid at the time in the academy, and, you're not, I guess, say necessarily doing, the recovery stuff because, at that age, you're kind of just like, running around all the time and, you have the energy for that kind of stuff. So, and obviously keeping like the same diet and stuff like that. So I think going to, the first team, it was just more of like having, the right diet, having the right mentality and, just trying to be very mature around the older guys. Cause obviously when I came into the team, you had guys that, were, maybe 8, 9, 6 years older than me. So I had to, stay to the level and be mature enough to, cooperate with them. So I think just, that, just trying to be mature and just trying to be more professional.
Yeah, that kind of always like it just interests me about how there can be such young guys in the first team locker room, and then the other they're like 30, like 35 years old. You could be like their son. So is it like what's the dynamic like between you and like the older guys in the locker room?
Yeah, I would say it definitely got a lot better. I would say probably at first, I would say when me and Busio first signed, obviously we're kind of around the same age, so we were kind of obviously got along. But it was just like first day was just like, I mean, me and Busio kind of just like, stuck with each other and just like, we're just talking normal and stuff like that. But, over time you start to grow, relationships, you start to grow friendships, and you start to grow that connection with your teammates to, hopefully, increase, the chemistry within the team. So, I mean, you'd be surprised how much I used to say the older guys know about, say, guys like us at our age, just, having fun and stuff like that. They obviously know that. So, I mean, I wouldn't say there's like necessarily two separate groups or anything like young group or older group. Obviously you have some guys that are closer to each other than, others, but I would say the group as a whole is pretty good as in, chemistry wise and talking to each other and being comfortable. So.
Yeah. That's cool then. Like that's good I mean, you guys are obviously doing well, so I feel like having a good like chemistry on the team definitely contributes to the success.
Yeah, for sure.
But so jumping back to what you said before, you said you were talking about how like competing for a starting spot. So I think Graham Zusi, right? He plays in your position as well.
Yeah.
He plays right
Yeah.
back. So kind of competing against him, just somebody who has had such a long career and experience with the national team at the highest level. What's your mentality going into that? Like thinking, how can I break into the lineup? How do you how do you go about doing that?
Yeah, it's just about doing me. It's just about, because, a lot of guys, you know, are competing for a spot and, maybe they get opportunity and maybe it doesn't work out that well and the coach, takes them out. And sometimes, that's not the mentality, and those kind of players, get pissed off or they get, discouraged about it and they kind of just like, oh, like whatever, like coach doesn't like me or whatever. But it's just more about having the mentality to like push yourself, every day to try to like, get into that starting spot, because, if you're not giving 100%, not every day, I mean, you're not making yourself better or, the guy in front of you. So I think it's just more of just trying to, obviously you're pushing yourself, but you're pushing the guy in front of you to, let him know like, hey, like I'm behind you. I'm coming after your spot, like it's not going to be easy. So I think it's just my mentality is just going into it. It's just saying like, I'm giving 100%. Like you better know like I'm there, like because I'm coming. So I think that's my mentality going into it.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's the same thing like Jonathan Lewis was talking about. We had him on last week. He was like, yeah, just focus on yourself. Like, don't really worry about what the other guy's doing. Just yeah. So I mean, right now, like, can you see yourself starting? Like, do you have like a 5-year plan? Like, do you see yourself starting or being a starting lineup like very soon?
Yeah, I mean, so when we came back from Orlando, I played the 5 games that when we got back from Orlando. I haven't played the last couple, but I mean, hopefully at some point I can, start a couple games towards the end of the season. But if not, I'm gonna try to, my goal is, next year is to try to like have that starting spot and just trying to keep it. That's my main goal as of right now. And then, later down the road is, obviously just keeping that like starting spot, obviously, and hopefully getting those like first team, national team call-ups, to go up there and, play with them. So represent my country. So, yeah, I mean, those are probably my, 2 main goals as of right now is probably to, start mostly next year and then probably get national team call-ups, a couple years from now.
Yeah. Do you like? Can you see yourself going to Europe like probably in the next 2 to 5 years?
Yeah, I definitely see it. I mean, that's pretty much every professional soccer player's, dreams to go to Europe and, play at the highest stages, like, like Premier League or, La Liga, Bundesliga, Champions League, obviously too. So everybody wants to be there. Everybody wants to be the best and, compete in front of the world. So, yeah, I think at some point I see myself going over there. Obviously don't know where yet, but just whenever, a club comes calling, maybe I can go over there and, succeed over there as well. So, yeah, at some point I want to go over there.
Have you had like any looks recently or like in the past when you were like growing up in the academy and stuff like that?
I would say when I was in the U17s, I had like I think 2 looks that I know for sure were from Middlesbrough and as well as Malmo FC, or I think it's Malmo FC. They're in Sweden, I believe, or Sweden or Norway. I think it's Norway. But yeah, those are the 2 main ones that I had looks at as well. But yeah, obviously, I feel like it was just for my best interest. I wanted to start here at Sporting. Obviously growing up in the academy and stuff. So wanted to start here, go into the first team a little bit, get some professional minutes, and then go over there at some point. So.
Yeah. So I guess, kind of hypothetically, would you do that again, or you know what I'm saying? Like, would you, being like a young player, would you stay in the MLS, or as a 17-year-old, would you choose to go into Europe? Like, are you happy with the decision?
I mean, I'm happy with my decision. I mean, everybody has their different situations. For me, I just felt like it was good for me as well. Because the club was really high on me, and I mean they're still high on me now as well. So I feel like it was just good for me to get into the system and get into the first team a little bit. But I mean, there's nothing wrong with staying in MLS. There's nothing wrong with going to Europe. I mean, everyone, as I said, everyone's different. So I think either way, starting in the MLS or even starting in Europe, I mean, there's no really big difference, or there's no wrong or right about it. So. It's just depending on what the player wants and, what they feel is right. So, I mean, if I do it again, I'd probably still do the same thing as, keep on my same path.
That's huge. I love when like players like grow up in the academy and then they stay with with the academy and like transition away into the first team instead of just like leaving the academy and going to play like over in Europe, like out of nowhere and stuff like that. So that's really huge, the development part.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
We saw that like you're taking like college classes right now. What do you see yourself what do you see yourself doing like after like your soccer career is over?
Yeah, I want to do something. I'm trying to major in like financial business right now. So, I think anything in the business world side. I mean, if it has to do with soccer and just, dealing with soccer business as well, like, doing transfers or, being an agent or whatever, I'll do that too. Because that's probably something I'd be really interested in. Or I mean, honestly, it could be any sport as well. Just being in that sports financial business, just organization would be great. So I think that's what I want to do after soccer.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm doing right now. Well, I haven't accepted yet. I got 2 offers from Briswick and other sports agency, and then another one called like OPMS. They're in
Okay.
Canada, so like that's gonna be chill. I just gotta decide which one to do.
Yeah, that's dope. That's dope.
Yeah, I'm a business major too. I go to school in
Nerd.
California, and
Nerd.
I really don't know what I want to do with
Nerd.
my business degree. I'm about to graduate like at the end of this year, so
Okay.
trying to
Nerd.
figure it out.
You're such a nerd.
Nothing wrong with business, bro. You can't go wrong with business.
Yeah, right.
Like, Chuck, what school do you go to?
Me?
Yeah.
To UC Berkeley.
Nerd.
Shit, that is a smart at school. I ain't gonna lie.
Does have a nerdy reputation, yeah. And it's true for the most part.
Yeah, Chuck's a nerd, but he drinks. Next question: what is like the most, would you say, the popular like misconception of the MLS is? Like, I know people, like some people try to compare the MLS to like, who was I talking to the other day? They're like, oh, dude, the MLS is good, and the other kid was like, oh, MLS is bad. He was like, oh, the bottom half of like the Prem or like Bundesliga can easily take on any team in the MLS. And,
that was Lewis. Lewis saying the bottom half of the Bundesliga.
No, I think somebody else I had an argument with like last week, and they were just pissing me off. I was like people sleep on the MLS so much, and I think it's annoying.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people sleep on the MLS as it is. Like, that's why I think a lot of kids, like just say like when they're 16 or 17, they kind of look at, MLS as like a league where it's not that good and, you won't, I guess, develop in the right way or whatever. And, I mean, you've seen plenty of guys that come through the MLS that, are in big leagues now, like, like Miguel Almiron's at, Newcastle. You got Jack Harrison at Leeds United. I mean, there's plenty of other, names or whatever, but I honestly think I should say top half MLS can easily compete with the bottom half of the Premier League or even Bundesliga. I think that's why I think MLS is very much slept on. I mean, MLS isn't an easy league. I mean, it's not like a walk in the park or whatever. I mean, it's still like, you still have the travel, you still have the, opposition fans, and you still have good teams in this league. So, and honestly, in MLS, there's good players coming in all the time, especially from other countries. There's just good players everywhere. So, I think if MLS, they keep bringing in these DPs and guys like that, it just represents our, league very well. I think Miguel Almiron did a pretty good job at doing that, is, showing that our league has some potential, and especially Alphonso Davies as well. He showed a big example of how, there's a lot of young talent, especially in MLS. So I think it's a big misconception that MLS is just slept on a lot. So
yeah, definitely. There's a ton of players that come up from the academies and then just the first teams as well. So it's cool to see them all going to Europe and succeed, like just coming up.
Exactly. So it's good for the player as well, but it's good for the league too, to show definitely. That we can produce some players. So
yeah. Do you believe that like the MLS should be put into like a relegation / promotion type of thing?
Yes, any day of the week, bro. That's just something I've been wanting for a while, is just having that promotion relegation. Even though matches now still they still matter. It's like 3 points is 3 points, a point is a point. But I think if you put it into MLS, into a Premier League perspective, it's like every game matters. Like, you're competing to get to the top spot. And I think that'd be good for, our league. I think it'd bring more, competitive spirit. So I think it would put a lot more pressure on, players and managers and stuff like that. So, and that, only putting pressure on them makes them better. You want to get out of your comfort zone and stuff like that. So I think it'd be a great idea to have the promotion relegation in our league.
Yeah. Well, I think that's what is really good about it, is that it makes every single game matters. It has an effect on somehow. So whether it's like the top 3 or the bottom 3, somebody's going to be affected by it. So
that's what I'm thinking too. I just think, I mean, I mean, I think it'd be so cool to play in the Premier League to have that feeling of, like going to every game, like, all right, we need to get 3 points, like we need to win. Like this affects so much if we lose, and it will drop points and stuff like that. So, yeah, I just think it'd be so good for our league if we had that. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know if it will happen. I mean, hopefully soon it can happen because I mean that'd be great. So, I mean, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I think
Or
there needs
just
to
like
be.
being in like a lower league too, and then just working your way up to the top league.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's so cool for not only the team but the supporters of the team and the
Yeah.
team.
Exactly.
I wonder why the MLS doesn't do that. I don't like. How do you even go about changing that? Like, who is even in
Uh,
that?
it, I mean, it probably just takes a lot of work with,
Yeah.
like especially with USL and I'm trying to think. It's a USL League One, I think. Is that the next one?
Yeah, USL League One. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I think you'd probably consider like let's say facilities wise, stadiums. I mean, just stuff like that, like just like the money that goes into it. I just think it's probably just a lot, just for a lot of other teams maybe that don't have that much money, maybe. But I mean, maybe hopefully soon it could happen. I mean, we'll see, but I don't know.
All right,
All right.
we're gonna move on to your international career side of things.
All right.
Chuck, you can go.
I guess kind of who would you say that you're tightest with from the international pool? Because you played on quite a few teams. Who would you say you're the tightest you're with?
Yeah, I'll probably say the tightest I'm with will probably be Chris Gloucester. He plays at PSV.
Yeah.
Oh, we know Chris Gloucester.
We're a little familiar.
Really?
Oh, yes.
Why is there a
We
laugh?
got-
What's going on?
No, it's
literally.
nothing bad.
Nothing bad. 2 weeks, like, nah, not even 2 weeks. Like, I would say a month and a half ago, like, we were talking. We were like, yeah. I was like, yeah, you want to get on the pod? He was like, yeah, dude, I'm definitely down. Like, whatever. Like, dude, like, we had to schedule like 2 times. And then, like, the last time, he was like, yeah, like, I got to take my dog to the doctor or whatever. And I was like, oh, weird. Like, my bad. Like, he was like, yeah. I was like, yeah, I hope your dog's okay. And then after that, like, we were waiting for him in the Zoom call, and he just didn't join. And I'm like, dude, like in my head, I'm like, dude, like what? Like I thought he does he not know like he said yes to getting on the pod? So like we message him, and then like he has yet to open our messages. But the funny thing is like he views our story, and we're just like, dude, like what is happening?
Dude, that is Chris Gloucester all over it, dude. I was his roommate down at residency for about a year. But we were pretty close before that. But yeah, we're like really, really close. But yeah, that sounds like him. I'll tell you that. But yeah, that's probably like my tightest buddy. We met each other, I think, U15 camp or so. Kept in touch a little bit, and then U17s were like me and him were obviously the starting outside backs, and I mean we just like every training session and game, like we always just pushed each other to make ourselves better and stuff like that. So. We were just kind of like the perfect pair, and like we always got along, always did like the same things together and stuff like that. So yeah, that's probably who the closest I'm with.
Yeah, for sure. I was so sad actually. I still have yet to have him message us back. Like we're like really happy to get him on. Like we had like a Q&A and everything.
Yeah, actually, we put out
Oh
a
my gosh.
post our questions, but
Yeah.
moving on, we can about that. So you'd say, I mean, there's been a lot of successful players so far from your career. Especially like your teams have been very successful from like your youth national teams. What do you kind of think that success boils down to? Is it the success from the DA system? Or do you think just it's a very, very talented group of players?
I think a lot of it comes from the DA as well. Just playing those games, almost every weekend, and traveling and training, every day of the week. That's just kind of like it's almost like a mimic of going to be a professional, just say in MLS or even going to Europe as well. Just like that format of always just training and then playing games. I mean, because obviously, I mean, it was almost like anytime we went to national team camp, and it was just almost like you had bragging rights if your team beat like say if Sporting beat Red Bulls, and like I would give Chris like crap when I went to camp, like yo, like we just smacked y'all, like y'all suck, and I think it's just that, that's what I'm saying. It's just that competitive spirit that I guess the DA had that they brought, going down to, showcases or, playing in the playoffs and stuff like that. Honestly, for me, I think if they did those like showcase and playoffs even more, I think that would just bring way more, spirit just like to the entire country within the DA. So I think it's just more of like that DA, style of, developing those players.
Yeah.
How well would you say like the youth national team is like integrated with like the first team? Like talk about like play style wise or like mentality.
Like you mean first team is like national team or like sporting?
Probably the national team. Yeah, national team.
So I was in camps. We were always just like, I guess, taught or constructed to play similar kind of as the first team, typically. Like pretty much like the same way, like they press or like the same way, they play on offense the same way they defend. It was almost just like like I say before, like a mimic of the first team national team was, just trying to figure out the concept. So like when you do get caught up at some point to go to the first team, that like you already know like what the play style is, you know what to do. So I think the youth national teams, they did a lot. They did a really good job of doing that to, get you integrated into the first team, the national team. So.
Yeah. So I guess kind of because you kind of already touched on this. You're saying you want to eventually get onto the play, get some first team minutes. What's the timeline like that for?
Like as in like when I want to get up there at some point.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, as soon as possible, really. That's why. It's just a grind to try to get there, obviously. But obviously, the sooner the better. I think one of my goals for me is to try to make the 2022 World Cup roster at some, maybe. We'll see. Obviously, it takes a lot of hard work and determination to get there. But yeah, that's my goal as right now. If I don't make it, you just got to move on. You got to keep working. Obviously there's more to come. So, yeah, I think that's my main goal is, to make that 2022. And then if not, just try to make some after that. So that's my timeline as right now.
What's kind of like, I'm just curious, what's the, like, I guess, lack of a better word, like, what's the vibe around the players going into the 2022 World Cup? Like, is everybody like super, super confident, like that you'll have a good chance
Yeah.
at doing well?
Yeah. I think everybody is probably confident, especially, you got players that have already been, young players in the first team that have already been there. Like, I gotta say Josh Sargent, you got Serginho, you have, Timothy Weah, you got, Christian, you got Christian as well. You have a whole bunch of guys that have so much potential and, they're so good at like their age. So I think honestly for me, I think everyone should be confident going to the World Cup because we have the talent. And I think the 2022 World Cup is really going to be a positive thing for the United States to show that, we have a lot of talent, we have the players, and, maybe it would show that we're kind of like that next, I guess, country to show that we can develop players. I'll say, for example, like Brazil. Like Brazil is known for making players, and Brazilians are known for being good. But I think it's our goal as the U.S. is for Americans to be known that we're good, we have the talent. We're always going to be ready. Whatever team that calls us up and stuff like that. So I think it'd be a really positive thing. I think we should go confident into that World Cup.
Like, have you talked to? I don't know if you guys how the relationship is with like the youth national team guys and like the senior team guys. Do you guys talk to like Berhalter at all?
Not really. I think when I was in the youth teams, like with the 20s and 17s, we didn't really have much communication with the first team guys, really. Obviously, if you're like on their team, like I guess players, if you're like on their team, and yeah, you have the connection. But like with coaches and stuff, they'll probably come, down every once in a while, say like, like, hey, what's going on? Like they'll give us advice of, what the first team wants or, what the whole system, the youth system once, and they try to explain that. So like we know we have like the knowledge going into, our youth team and even the first team. So it's not necessarily like anything personal. It's just more just like as a group thing, just like talking and saying, hey, this is what we want and this is what we want to do. So it just gives us like a clear goal of what we want to do. So
Like what has like the coach given you like, well, at the time of like the U20 when you were the U20s, like was there a coach that gave you like a piece of information that you're just never like gonna forget?
I would say for the U17s, he had the U17s coach had a really big influence on me. His name's John Hackworth. He currently coaches Louisville City in USL. He had, I mean, there wasn't necessarily a message that I never forgot, but he taught me so much and put me through a lot to like get me through like adversity and trying to work for that starting spot and stuff like that. Because it was when I went down to residency in the first couple of months. I wasn't really in that kind of starting 11 really. I mean, I was kind of in and out a little bit, and I kind of got pissed off a little bit. I was kind of like, all right, like why am I not starting and stuff like that. But I mean, it only pushed me to work harder, and eventually I just grew so much as a player. I mean, I think he's one of the big reasons of why I am a pro today. So I think he's one of the biggest influencers on my career. To be a professional. So I'll probably say, John Hackworth has been a big influence.
Nice. Oh, wait, we said he's the what, Louisville FC? Yeah. Okay, I think that's where Chuck. That's where what's his name brother plays at. Johan.
Oh, Johan's.
Yeah, I think his brother plays there.
Nice.
Oh, Gomez. Is that
Yeah.
We had him on 2 weeks ago. And
okay.
So I guess another question is, what would you say, in your opinion, what's a good, realistic, achievable outcome for the national team in the 2022 World Cup?
I think an achievable outcome, I think, would be to get past the quarterfinals. I think, especially even with the first team, pretty much even the first team and down, I think that's where all the youth teams and even the first team get to that point in the quarterfinals where it's like, okay, like we get to the quarterfinals and we're about to play a good team, and it's like weird because it's all the teams that we lose in the quarterfinals, and I don't know what it is about it. I don't know if it's like obviously fatigue of the tournament or obviously you're playing a good team, but I think anything just past the quarterfinal, like just say semis or finals, will be a great outcome, or like you're looking for, like you just know like there's a bright future ahead for the national team. So I think I think semifinals or finals would be a great outcome.
Yeah, I can see that happening. That's the thing. Like we always go so far, like we'll go like so far in or do well, and then like there'll be like a game where I guess everyone will just be tired, like you said, of fatigue. There would be like, and then it would just end up like choking or like just losing it.
Yeah. All right. So we got 2 more questions.
Yeah, I mean, like
My bad.
Oh no, sorry. I was just gonna say, like just for example, like first team, like in I think it was 14 World Cup when we lost to like Belgium. I mean, obviously Belgium's an outstanding team, like top nations in the world. I mean, it's just probably like just fatigue, like I said. And even with the 17s, when we were at the World Cup, I mean, we played England in the quarterfinals. I mean, and they're a good team as well. And we came up short, losing them in the quarterfinals. So, I mean, and there's numerous like I guess, generations or groups that before us and even after us that get to the quarterfinals and they lose. So, yeah, I just think anything past that would be great. So.
Definitely. Hopefully you see it happen, and hopefully you'll be part of it.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah,
That would be
sure.
pretty lit. Definitely would have
sure.
a beer in my hand at the time, though.
What is it with you like today?
Yeah, I love it. Some beer. What kind of beer you like?
Dude, I Miller Lite. Right now, I'm like it's bush because we're in college. We're not trying to spend money.
Yeah, I feel you.
Get a little 30 rack for like $18. You can't beat that. Yo, some places, Chuck, you can get like a 30 rack for like $15.
Yeah, I know. Of Natty Light.
Yeah, but that's like what is he? He'll get the job done. All right,
Yeah.
drink responsibly. What would you say? All right, last question, obviously. What is
Wait.
your?
Let me go real quick.
Are you kidding? Okay, I
My
guess.
bad. Sorry. No. Is there kind of one thing you want to accomplish in your career? Like you'll accomplish this, and you know you've had a successful career.
Oh yeah, I think. I mean, I'd probably say the two. I would say probably say win a World Cup would be nice, very nice. I would say winning a Champions League would be nice as well. And I would honestly say I would say any kind of winning a lot of trophies would be. I would pretty much know like okay, like I look back, I'm like all right, like I won all these trophies. We won, I won this and I won that. I won that. That's when I would know I probably had a successful career, probably. So
Yeah, you could be like a Danny Alves, most decorated
for
football
real,
player ever. Dude, he
for
has
real.
everything.
I know that's what I'm saying. Like I would look back and be like, damn, I had a good career, Like that was nice.
Like he just wakes up and he's like, oh, I won this, that, this.
Dude, yeah, that's insane. So yeah, that'd be so nice to have that. So
That'd be pretty sick. All right, last question before we wrap it up, Chuck. Thanks for interrupting me. What is your favorite soccer podcast? And before you answer it, there is a right answer. So answer carefully. Is he lagging for you?
yeah, sorry, I think it's
No,
just
you're
cutting
good.
out.
You're good. So favorite soccer podcast?
Say it again.
What's your favorite soccer podcast?
Is that like a trick to like say you guys, or is that like are you being for real?
I don't know if you think we are, then I guess. But if you
Are you like so like soccer podcasts like this, or you mean just like when they talk about soccer, or are you saying any in general?
what are you feeling, Chuck?
I don't know. I mean, I obviously wanted to say us, but I don't. Do y'all listen to a lot of podcasts?
I mean, I wouldn't say necessarily no, but I mean, obviously you see guys that talk about soccer or whatever, and they have their opinions or whatever. But I mean, to be fair, I would probably say this has been the funnest podcast I've done. Like just like talking about
Let's
stuff
go.
and stuff like that. To be fair, so
Tough. All right, thanks.
Well, no. What are some of the other podcasts you listen to? I'm curious.
I mean, there's not necessarily like a named podcast, but I mean, just for example, if you go like I don't know, like on, like listen to like Lexi Lawless or obviously you listen to videos of like Stu Holden sometimes that says some stuff here and there. I mean, does Lexi Lawless have a podcast? I mean, I know he talks.
It's called State of the Union. I watch his podcast every now and then. He be saying some crazy stuff in there.
Okay, yeah. So I mean, that's why I like to watch that kind of stuff because like people say that they say crazy stuff and it's like it just causes a whole bunch of drama and stuff like that. So I mean, that's why I like it because that's like I'm sitting there watching it and I'm like,
no,
like what are you talking about?
That's
I'm the same way. I'm the same way about. Have you guys listened like the Herd? Like you guys watch football at all or like basketball at all?
I know. Yeah, I've seen like stuff like Colin Cowherd has said.
Well, like bro, Colin Cowherd is the funniest guy like you'll meet. Like, dude, like the stuff he says is insane. It's like it's crazy. But like that's why I enjoy watching it because like it's just he says crazy stuff that's just funny. So, but yeah.
Actually, I don't think it was him. I think it was Max Kellerman. They were like asking him, "Who would you take the last shot?" Like KD or like Steph Curry, or like who would you take last shot on the Warriors? And this guy said Andre Iguodala over like
yeah, dude.
it's just like
yeah, Colin Cowherd and Stephen A. Smith, man, those two are yeah. So
all right, well, I think we're gonna wrap it up. thanks for taking the time out of your day. Sorry about the time confusion.
Yeah, that was I guess that was my bad.
No, you're good. You're good. My bad for keeping you guys waiting. I was like, you sent me a text and you said, "Yo, we're waiting," and I was like, "Wait, what?" And then like I went back in the messages. I remember you said Eastern time, and I was like, "Shit!" I was like, "Fuck."
No, it's all good. It happens.
Yeah, we're all good though. So, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it though.
All right, Chuck, end recording.
Yeah.